Hey everybody, what is going on? Hexlex here. I got another Master Duel video for you, coming at you with some Bystial Fiendsmith control. This is a deck that I have not played in quite some time, or a style of deck rather, that I really wanted to take a look at as we are going into this season. Because, as always, one of the biggest strengths of a control deck like this is its ability to counter any given meta. This deck has a lot of room for hand traps in particular. We're playing Bystials as part of our core, which are just inherently really good against this meta, and overall I think this deck could have a lot of potential. Now, for a deck like this, a control deck, I feel like it's really best to show the choices in moment, and because we haven't done this in a while, I figured we could go ahead and play some live games here at the end of Season 46. Hop right into it. Still only at Master 5, I pretty much just went up through Diamond to Master as quickly as I could, and then I've been messing around since the new pack came out, just with a bunch of different decks. Okay, we're going first, although this deck, to be fair, sometimes actually does kind of prefer to go second, but hopefully we can open with one of our Fiendsmith starters and put out a decent turn 1 board here. Okay, we have Engraver and Lubellion. Yeah, this is perfect. Alright, this hand is notably a little bit weak to Droll, and it almost makes me think that I should use Lubellion first, in case we do get hit by Droll and Lockbird. Also could potentially bait out Ash Blossom. Let's go ahead and grab Magnum Hut, because if we use Engraver and then they Droll, then we'd have Tracked and not be able to use it, as opposed to being able to still have at least a Bystial monster, if nothing else, right? Speaking of Tracked, let's go ahead and grab that. We're playing Sanct as well, just trying out a single copy just as another starter. I think my opponent might have Maxi or Fua, just based on the way they're getting past priority here. They're probably waiting for me to special summon the Lurie before they use it. Alright, Lurie F. Here's Maxi/Fua. We'll chain Ash Blossom. Yep, there it is. Wow, Royal Maxi even. I would have been a little bit more scared if I saw Fua, because then I would be more inclined to think that they might have both Fua and a Maxi. I think it's still worth it to chain Ash Blossom to a Fualos here, but you always gotta be thinking about that. Alright. Yeah, so as far as like our quote-unquote combo line, I don't really have like a dedicated turn 1 line that we always do with this deck. It is very hand dependent. Of course, you do need to open Fiendsmith stuff, while also still being able to maybe have some amount of other bodies. Like, your turn 1 is never going to be like as impressive as like a Mitsurugi board, right? Because, okay, in this case, I think we're actually going to send Fiendsmith in Paradise. We already have an Engraver in the graveyard, right? Let's go ahead and do that. But yeah, we're not like putting out like Mitsurugi levels of like, you know, board states here, but well, we can end on like an Appaloosa if nothing else. I could even go into Lars here because I do have the Magnum Hut, although I'm trying to figure out if Appo is going to be the best thing to go into here. I mean, we always make sequence no matter what here. Because I could do like IP plus Lars instead of Appaloosa. Would be more layered interaction, right? There's also Desiree is always an option, but I think I like Appaloosa more than Desiree, so I think we always make Fiendsmith's Lacrima. And also you can keep Desiree in there for a Paradise. So let's put back these two. Alright, let's see if, I wonder if they're gonna, like, nib me here. No, okay. Okay, we have a couple of options here, right? So I could summon Magnum Hut and make a 4-material Appaloosa. Or I could just make 3-mat Appo, Magnum Hut, have Lubellion up. What do I have in graveyard to banish? Just Lubellion? Okay, so we need to do it this way, I think. Could also go into a Balak, who I still have not actually summoned this thing yet. But I feel like in this situation, going into an Appaloosa would be better. Discard one card, activate one of these effects. I like all the cards in my hand. I don't want to discard them. Let's just make Appo. I would like to summon Magnum Hut. I'm trying to think of what I want to banish here. Am I just going to banish the Fiendsmith Slackham? I think I will. I think that's fine. Can always just make Desiree later. We need to follow up. I think it's worth it to summon Magnum Hut here to get the Requiem online. Plus, we'll still have another Bystial monster off the Magnum Hut search anyway. So it's like there's no reason not to. But Regained, not Requiem. I don't know why I said Requiem. Branded Regained is just such an important piece to this end board. Such a broken card. Plus, with the Magnum Hut in the yard, we already have a target to summon. Okay. I'm liking how this looks, yeah. Alright, let us get... I'm gonna get Baldrake, not just because it's royal, but because I already have the Lubellion on the field anyway, so this can serve as like an immediate... The on-board effect could serve as an immediate second form of disruption on top of course, Baldrake just banishing something out of their graveyard. No need to fire off Maxi just yet. Let's see what they do first. Special summon Unicorn. Okay, so this actually would have been a scenario where firing that off would have been good. Alright, so let me think for a second. I don't need the Fiendsmith in Paradise set. I will definitely activate Branded Regain though. There's no reason not to. They'll get to extra deck rip, but... Am I fine with that, actually? They might take the Desiree, which would make the Paradise not really viable anymore. Okay, they're not. Actually, that's surprising and fine. I think I might imperm this instead of Appaloosa. Yeah, I'm definitely going to imperm this. Then I don't have to worry about the extra deck rip, and this can negate stuff that's not on the field, whereas imperm can only ever negate stuff that's on the field. If I have imperm plus Appaloosa, I tend to try to factor that in, right? Like, if it's something that's on the field, then I would kind of, in most situations, rather use the imperm, just because, again, Appaloosa can hit stuff that's not on the field. Alright, this is Regenesis Warrior. Quick effect, you contribute this card, then target one monster your opponent controls and return it to the hand. Okay, so I definitely should have used the Fiendsmith in Paradise on the Unicorn. That definitely makes me regret not doing that. Into the main phase, huh? Yeah, I mean, that's just gonna have to be fine. That's rough. Losing my Appaloosa like that. I like how I was like definitely not gonna fire off Max C, and then I go up against like the one deck where draw phase Max C would have actually been really good. I'm still kind of debating if I want to fire off my Max C here. Okay, definitely not. Never mind. Tribute this card, then target one monster your opponent controls, return it to the hand. Okay. Okay, let's get our Magnum Hut search. Might as well just get Lubellion, right? Debating if I want to activate Baldrake now to, like, sort of get around the... Yeah, you know what? I think I will, actually. So let me get around the Unicorn extra deck rip, because it's still negated right now. I'll just banish my own Magnum Hut. Yeah, that's fine. That's not ideal. I don't love doing that, but I'll do it here. Get a draw while we're at it. Okay. I would have rather had a Fiendsmith card, but that's fine. Crossout Designator is interesting. That could come up. Alright. Let me think here for a second. Let's start by activating... So they're gonna get an extra deck rip. Well, okay, so this is just a straight up quick effect, right? Yeah, it doesn't have to be used during the main phase. I guess I'm just debating if I want to just switch this and go to battle. How much do I care about the extra deck grip? I think the answer is actually not a ton right now. Let me just activate this. Let's just get the extra deck grip over with and see what they take. I just want to see what they take so that way we know, like, what's going on here. Okay, there's Unicorn. That's fine. Desiree, yeah, okay. I kind of figured that was going to be the case with the Fiendsmith in Paradise in the yard. I really should just gotten rid of this Unicorn on summon. That's fine. Okay, we don't have to worry about that right now. Alright, so what's in my graveyard? I can banish the Lubellion for the Druid Swarm. That sounds good to me. Alright, let's put that back and draw. I'm trying to figure out, like, okay, what's left in my extra deck? I could still go into a... Oh, but I don't have the Fiendsmith and... I have the Necro Quip. I guess I'm just trying to figure out, like, if I'm going to pivot into Fiendsmith off of, like, linking off Lubellion. Like, I can link Lubellion and Druid Swarm. Genesis Birth. Send a Regenesis monster from deck to graveyard. Target a face-up card your opponent controls. Change it to face-down defense. Put it in the graveyard because it was sent there this turn. Okay. That's fine. Because this actually just tributes, right? So I could still do what I was thinking about doing. I could even summon Saranir first. Actually, no. Alright, here's how I'm going to do this. Let's go Moon with you and you. Okay, yep, that triggers that. Regenesis Warrior is fine. Now I can go Tribute the special. I haven't normal summoned, right? I think I can... Well, they're at 68. They're not even at 8,000. Alright, now we're gonna go Magnum Hut by banishing Druid Swarm. And activate. That's not gonna save you. Alright, last card in hand is hopefully nothing, and then we're gonna lethal them. Bystial beat down, Bystial beat down. Woohoo! Let's go! Alright, okay, that was a great duel. Even though I misplayed in the beginning there, well, I misplayed because it ended up being Regenesis. I feel like if it was any other deck that plays Unicorn, it was fine to not Fiendsmith in Paradise right at the beginning. I just thought there was going to be a better target. The reason I didn't use it on the Regenesis Warriors is because I was afraid of yet another Regenesis monster coming down. I just wanted to see if that was going to be the case, but thankfully it wasn't. Sick. Alright. Great duel. Excellent game. Let's go into another one here. Try to do at least one more. We'll talk about the deck in length more at the end of the video here, as we usually do. Okay, we're going second, which this deck honestly does not mind most of the time. Like, if you don't open a Fiendsmith starter, you would literally always rather just go second in this deck. Sometimes even if you do open one. Okay, we have Fua Imperm. You know, I have thought about going down to 2 Lubellion and playing another, like, actual Bystial, like, hand trap monster. Because they act as hand traps, right? Okay, thankfully it looks like this person just bricked, so that's pretty good for us. Like playing a second like Ball Drake instead of a third Lubellion. Again, the idea being that in a hand like this, you would rather have a Ball Drake than a Lubellion. I'm gonna start by activating Lubellion here. What if this will eat Called By? It does eat Called By. Okay. Yeah, I should have activated this first. I didn't even think about that until after the fact. I thought about activating Branded Regained first, but I was like, is there a reason to? But really, the thing I need to ask myself is not, is there a reason to, but more, is there a reason not to? Because if there's a reason not to, like, or if there's not a reason not to, like, I just missed out on a free draw there, you know? But it is what it is. We'll move on. Let's activate Engraver. Actually, though, there is the argument of Fuelos. Although here, at the very least, we will get our draw off the Regained. I'll put Engraver back into the deck for sure, even though I can't use it. Because, like, I'd rather recycle that engine, right? Okay, so we fortunately somehow did not get punished here. Interesting. Do I just hand rip their last card then? I already know it's not going to be anything useful, but it could be an extender or another hand trap. I mean, again, there's no reason not to. Might as well. What you got? Let's peek under the hood. Yeah, okay, it's World Crown. You know, World Crown was one of the things that I was specifically thinking it could be. Alright, double Imperm set. Is it worth it to normal summon Fuelos? I kind of actually don't think it is, even though we have cards on the field, because if we need it as a link body, like, all of our starters don't use their normal summon anyway, aside from, like, Lurie and Lacrima, which if I normal summon one of those, like, that's fine. Okay, there's an Engraver from them, but it got hit with Call By, so lol. They conceded! I mean, I get it, but, like, I would have liked to have drawn a card and at least seen what happened there. Wow, we leveled up. That's actually very rare. All right, let's just, let's take a look at the deck here. I can talk to you a little bit about this, and then we'll go ahead and finish off the video. So, again, here's the deck list. It's quite literally just Bystial and Fiendsmith cards and hand traps. And that is pretty much all you need, honestly, to be a solid control deck. Like I said before, I am playing a single copy of Fiendsmith Sanct. Because, as I mentioned again earlier in the video, if you are going first, you really do want to be opening a Fiendsmith card, right? It could be anything from the engine. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 of these starters. Which is not as many as other decks, but again, we're not trying to go like stupid full combo like Mitsurugi or something, right? If you just end on Appaloosa and pass, that's like that first game. That's a pretty typical turn 1 end board. Doesn't look impressive, but again, with a control deck like this, it's less about the tools that you have and more about how you use them, right? Now, as far as the Bystial lineup, as mentioned before, I'm on 3 Lubellion, but there's a solid argument to cutting this down to 2, and then playing like, I'd probably play a second Ball Drake here. To just have more like hand trap options. But going first, you would always rather see the Lubellion because that'll get your Branded Regained on live. And really don't sleep on this card. This is very important for this deck. Branded Regained is like a 1-card control engine by itself. It'll keep cycling draws, which will be more hand traps more likely than not. It'll keep summoning your Bystial monsters back, which will just make your board state overall very sticky. So that would be the main reason to have 3 Lubellion, to open this and discard and search. So, you know, it's an interesting little dichotomy, a little back and forth there. Yeah, everything else is pretty much just like the standard off engine you'd expect to see for most meta decks here in the main deck. For the extra deck, there's a ton of different stuff that you could play, but I mean, even stuff like Necrocrypt Princess really doesn't come up super often. I like having Evolzar Lars as a really good generic rank 6. You could include more generic rank 6s, you could play Zeus, you could play some more generic Link monsters. You could also play the Primite engine. If you're playing the Primite engine, then something like spheres might be a little bit more worth it. You could make an argument for spheres even without it, but really, if you have multiple bestial monsters, it's kind of rare that you're in a board state where you want to turn them into a spheres, right? But yeah, we're not playing the Primite engine, mostly because I wanted to focus more on the off engine and how that affects the deck's play rate in the current meta, or the win rate rather. And I think that I would much rather have some of this like off engine to play against that as opposed to the Primite engine, which would help me going first a little bit, but I don't think I need that much help going first as opposed to having the hand traps and the tools to counter the current meta. Alright, so I think that's gonna pretty much do it. Thank you for joining me for those duels, and as always, I really appreciate you watching all the way to the end. That really is one of the best ways to support smaller YouTube channels. I know I say it during every outro, but it really is very, very true. So thank you very much for sticking around. Speaking of the outro, let's go ahead and thank our YouTube members and patrons and go on into that outro. Hey everybody, SLAPS here. Thank you so very much for watching all the way to the very end of the video, which by the way is one of the best ways to support the channel. Speaking of supporting the channel, take a look at the names on screen. These are folks who have been so generous as to either join as a YouTube member or subscribe over on patreon.com/hexlex to support. There's also perks for doing so. If you would like to see YouTube videos early, as well as some exclusive videos that get uploaded to YouTube, but for one reason or another I decide not to publish, definitely go ahead and hit that join button to see content early, as well as some exclusive content. If you're looking for more exclusive content, over on patreon.com, I upload exclusive videos that are not posted on YouTube just about every single day. Whether you choose to subscribe over on Patreon, join as a YouTube member, or simply continue to watch, your support is greatly appreciated. Thank you so very much. But for now, this is SLAPS. I am signing out, and I hope that you have a fantastic day.